Imagine a country standing at the crossroads of history, a place where ancient trade routes meet modern highways, where the energy of a young population fuels bold ambitions, and where geography itself is a ticket to global influence. Now imagine that this country is quietly but steadily building connections, forging alliances, and reshaping the way the world trades, communicates, and shares resources. The story you're about to hear is not just about economics or politics. It's about vision. It's about how a nation once underestimated is now becoming a key player in the world's most dynamic region. It's about how change doesn't happen overnight, but with every decision, every partnership, and every step forward, the world begins to take notice. I want you to think beyond the headlines, beyond the old stereotypes, and see what's really unfolding. Because by the end of this journey, you might realize that the West's growing concern over this country's role in Asia isn't about fear of conflict. It's about fear of losing influence. And that's a very different kind of power story. Stay with me until the end, because understanding this shift could change how you see the future of global power, and maybe even where you decide to place your trust, your investments, and your attention. This is a story worth hearing all the way through. Pakistan's strategic location has been one of its greatest assets throughout history. But in today's geopolitical and economic landscape, it is becoming even more valuable. Positioned at the crossroads of South Asia, Central Asia, the Middle East, and China, Pakistan serves as a bridge between some of the world's most resource-rich regions and some of the largest consumer markets. Its coastline along the Arabian Sea gives it direct access to vital maritime routes, including the Strait of Hormuz, through which a significant portion of the world's oil supply passes. This means that any trade, energy, or shipping routes passing through this region inevitably have to account for Pakistan's position. On the northern side, Pakistan shares a border with China, opening a direct pathway for Chinese goods to access the Arabian Sea through projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPE. This route significantly shortens the shipping time for Chinese exports to Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, compared to traditional sea routes that pass through congested choke points. To the west, Pakistan connects with Iran and Afghanistan, which are gateways to the vast energy resources of the Middle East and Central Asia. To the east, it borders India, a market of over 1 billion people, and has proximity to Southeast Asia. This unique geographic placement allows Pakistan to function as a natural transit hub for goods, energy, and digital connectivity. Moreover, its ports, particularly Jeddah, have the potential to rival some of the busiest in the region. Jeddah is not just a port, it is a strategic asset located near the mouth of the Persian Gulf, just outside the Strait of Hormuz. Control over or strong influence in such a location offers significant leverage in global trade and energy supply chains. It positions Pakistan as an indispensable partner for countries looking to diversify and secure their trade routes. This location also has military and strategic implications, as global powers recognize that influencing Pakistan means influence over one of the most important crossroads in the world. With emerging infrastructure projects, road and rail networks, and expanding connectivity initiatives, Pakistan's geographical advantage is no longer just a static fact. of maps. It is becoming a dynamic force in shaping the flow of goods, energy, and even political influence across Asia and India. This growing role in linking continents and markets is exactly why many see Pakistan as a rising pivot in regional and global affairs. Pakistan's role in global trade routes is undergoing a transformation that has the potential to reshape the economic map of Asia. At the center of this change is its involvement in projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, which is part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. CPEC links the deep-water Gwadar port in Pakistan's Balochistan province to China's Xinjiang region through a network of highways, railways, and energy pipelines. This route is strategically significant because it offers China and other regional players a much shorter and more secure path to the Arabian Sea, bypassing longer maritime journeys through the South China Sea and the Strait of Malacca. For landlocked Central Asian countries, Pakistan's ports provide a direct and efficient gateway to global markets, drastically reducing transportation costs and transit times. Gwadar port itself is emerging as a key node in maritime trade. Its location near the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for global oil transportation, gives it strategic importance in energy security. It is envisioned not only as a commercial shipping hub, but also as a logistics and industrial center capable of attracting investment and manufacturing activity. As infrastructure improves, Gwadar can handle a greater volume of cargo, making it a viable alternative to other heavily congested regional ports. This has implications for trade flows between Asia, Africa, and Europe, as routes through Pakistan could become faster, safer, and more cost-efficient. Beyond physical infrastructure, Pakistan is also positioning itself to take advantage of emerging digital trade corridors. The expansion of fiber optic networks under CPAC and other projects will enhance digital connectivity between China, Central Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. This will facilitate not only the movement of goods, but also the transfer of information, services, and technology across borders, further integrating Pakistan into global value chains. The country's growing involvement in trade route development challenges the traditional dominance of Western-controlled maritime lanes. By offering alternative paths for goods and energy, Pakistan is giving countries in Asia and Africa more choices in how they connect to world markets. This shift could reduce the reliance of many economies on routes that pass through Western-dominated choke points, thereby redistributing influence over global commerce. The more these trade routes develop and mature, the more Pakistan's role will evolve from being a participant in regional trade to a central player in the broader architecture of global supply chains. Pakistan is steadily expanding its network of economic partnerships across Asia, the Middle East, and beyond, creating a new balance of power in trade and investment that challenges the traditional dominance of Western economies. This shift is being driven by strategic cooperation with countries such as China, Turkey, the Gulf states, and members of the Central Asian region. These relationships are built not only on mutual economic benefit, but also on shared visions for infrastructure development, energy security, and technological advancement. Unlike previous decades, when Pakistan's economic orientation was heavily dependent on Western markets and institutions, the country is now diversifying its alliances to reduce vulnerability and strengthen its position in the global economy. The partnership with China is the most visible example, with projects under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor leading to large-scale investments in transportation, energy, and industrial zones. These developments are designed to integrate Pakistan into the broader Belt and Road network. enabling it to serve as a vital hub for regional and transcontinental trade. Alongside China, Pakistan is strengthening ties with Turkey, focusing on defense cooperation, manufacturing, and cultural exchange, while also opening channels for greater trade integration between South and Central Asia. In the Gulf region, Pakistan's historical connections are being deepened through investments in agriculture, energy, and real estate. Gulf countries see Pakistan as a reliable partner in food security and as a promising destination for capital investment, given its growing population and developing infrastructure. In return, Pakistan benefits from the financial resources and energy supplies these nations can offer. This reciprocity is fostering a long-term economic alignment that is less subject to the political conditions often attached to Western aid or trade agreements. Central Asian states are also becoming important economic allies with agreements to improve connectivity through railways, road networks, and energy pipelines. These connections are opening up opportunities for trade in minerals, textiles, agricultural products, and technology services. By positioning itself at the center of these partnerships, Pakistan is not only boosting its own economic growth, but also contributing to a regional economic ecosystem that is increasingly independent of Western oversight. This web of partnerships is shifting trade flows, attracting diverse sources of investment, and increasing Pakistan's ability to negotiate on equal terms with larger economies. As these ties deepen, they are laying the groundwork for a more interconnected and resilient Asian economic order in which Pakistan plays a central and influential role. Pakistan's position in Asia gives it unique access to some of the world's most critical energy routes and resources, placing it in a strong position to become an emerging energy hub. Its proximity to the Persian Gulf, where a significant portion of global oil production is concentrated, allows it to play a vital role in the transportation and distribution of energy resources. The Arabian Sea coastline, particularly the location of Gwadar port, is strategically placed near the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point through which a large percentage of the world's oil and gas shipments pass. This geographical advantage enables Pakistan to serve as a transit route for energy supplies moving between the Middle East, Central Asia, and global markets. Beyond transit potential, Pakistan is also developing infrastructure to handle, store, and distribute energy. Pipeline projects, such as those proposed to connect Iran's natural gas reserves to Pakistan and potentially to China, could make the country a key link in regional energy networks. Similarly, planned projects with Turkmenistan and other Central Asian states aim to bring natural gas and electricity to energy-hungry markets in South Asia. These initiatives would not only enhance Pakistan's own energy security, but also generate significant transit revenues and geopolitical leverage. In addition to traditional fossil fuels, Pakistan is also investing in renewable energy sources. Its geography offers vast potential for solar, wind, and hydropower generation. Partnerships with foreign investors in renewable energy projects are already underway, which could help diversify Pakistan's energy mix and make it a supplier of clean energy in the region. This diversification strengthens its role as a future energy hub capable of meeting both conventional and modern energy demands. The combination of access to oil and gas supply routes, developing pipeline infrastructure, and emerging renewable capabilities means that Pakistan can influence energy flows in multiple directions, north to Central Asia, west to the Middle East, and east to China and other Asian markets. As global energy competition intensifies, countries and corporations are seeking more secure, cost-effective, and politically stable routes for their supply chains. Pakistan's ability to offer shorter, more efficient pathways while also developing its domestic energy capacity increases its strategic value in these global calculations. By leveraging these advantages, Pakistan is positioning itself not just as a consumer of energy, but as a central player in its movement and distribution across continents. Pakistan's demographic profile is one of its greatest strengths, with a population exceeding 240 million people and a median age of around 23 years. This young, dynamic workforce is a significant asset in a world where many developed nations face aging populations and labor shortages. The energy, adaptability, and innovation potential of this demographic can drive rapid economic growth if harnessed effectively. A youthful population is more receptive to new technologies, entrepreneurial ventures, and global trends, making Pakistan well positioned to integrate into the evolving digital economy. The rise of technology adoption has been particularly striking in recent years. Pakistan has experienced a surge in internet penetration, mobile phone usage, and access to affordable digital tools, enabling young entrepreneurs to create startups in fields such as e-commerce, fintech, health tech, and education technology. Platforms for digital payments, online marketplaces, and freelance work are becoming mainstream, allowing Pakistan's workforce to participate in the global economy without being constrained by geographical limitations. This shift is opening opportunities for the export of services in addition to traditional goods. Education and skill development initiatives, both domestic and in partnership with foreign institutions, are also beginning to shape a more skilled labor force. While challenges remain in terms of quality and accessibility, increasing awareness of the importance of digital skills, software development, and vocational training is gradually enhancing human capital. This progress is essential for attracting foreign investment in industries that require trained and adaptable workers. The manufacturing and services sectors stand to benefit significantly from this demographic advantage. As global supply chains diversify, countries with abundant and cost-efficient labor become attractive destinations for investment. Pakistan's workforce can offer competitive production costs in textiles, manufacturing, and assembly, while also supporting emerging sectors like IT outsourcing, game development, and artificial intelligence research. Furthermore, a young population tends to stimulate domestic consumption, which in turn drives internal economic activity, rising middle-class aspirations, an increasing demand for housing, technology, fashion, and modern services, creating a feedback loop that encourages more business growth. If effectively supported through policy reforms, infrastructure, and education, this demographic wave can provide Pakistan with a sustained period of economic vitality. In a region where innovation and human capital are increasingly critical for influence, Pakistan's youthful energy gives it a unique and potentially decisive advantage. Pakistan's diplomatic posture is evolving in ways that are redefining its role in regional and global affairs. Traditionally, the country maintained a balancing act between Western powers and its immediate neighbors, often relying heavily on alliances with the United States and European nations. However, in recent years, it has been steadily shifting its focus toward Asia-led cooperation, aligning more closely with countries such as China, Turkey, Russia, and members of the Gulf Cooperation Council. This pivot is not merely symbolic, it is rooted in the recognition that the global power center is gradually moving eastward, and economic as well as political opportunities are increasingly concentrated in Asia. One of the most significant aspects of this shift is Pakistan's active role in regional security and mediation efforts. from participating in peace processes in Afghanistan to maintaining strategic dialogues with Iran and Saudi Arabia. Pakistan has positioned itself as a potential mediator in conflicts that have implications beyond its borders. Its ability to maintain working relationships with countries that are sometimes at odds with each other gives it a unique diplomatic leverage. This role is enhanced by its geographical position, which places it at the intersection of South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East regions, where stability is crucial for global trade and energy flows. Infrastructure diplomacy has become another tool in Pakistan's foreign policy. By engaging in large-scale connectivity projects such as the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor and supporting initiatives that link Central Asian states to ports in the Arabian Sea, Pakistan is using economic cooperation to strengthen political ties. These projects not only improve trade, but also deepen strategic interdependence between Pakistan and its partners, making cooperation more resilient to political shifts. Military-to-military relations are also playing a part in Pakistan's growing influence. Joint exercises, defense agreements, and technology sharing with countries like Turkey, China, and Russia are expanding its defense diplomacy portfolio. This not only enhances Pakistan's own security, but also reinforces its image as a credible and capable partner in maintaining regional stability. By engaging in a broader set of alliances and initiatives, Pakistan is diversifying its diplomatic and economic dependencies, reducing its vulnerability to pressure from any single power bloc. This multi-directional approach allows it to navigate complex global dynamics while steadily building an image of an independent, pragmatic, and strategically important nation in the emerging Asian order. Pakistan's rise in Asia is not the result of chance, but the outcome of its strategic geography, evolving trade routes, expanding economic partnerships, energy potential, youthful workforce, and shifting diplomatic alignments. Together, these factors are reshaping its identity from a regional player to a pivotal connector in the global economy. The world is beginning to recognize that Pakistan is not just adapting to change, it is helping to drive it. This transformation carries implications not only for Asia, but for the entire international order, and it is a story still unfolding. I wish you all the very best in understanding and engaging with this changing landscape. May your perspectives remain open, your curiosity alive, and your vision global. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your willingness to explore the possibilities of a future where nations like Pakistan help shape the path forward. Good luck, and thank you